Well, welcome to another episode of Simple Thoughts. It's been a very good long while since I last did this. I'm sorry for that. It's just, there hasn't been a lot to talk about for me personally, in the sense for doing a Simple Thoughts. That's just kind of why I've been kind of chilling on making these. But due to recent news that's come out, I've decided, okay, now is the time for a new Simple Thoughts. And this news revolves around Netflix and their most recent transgression against entertainment, and that being a big cancellation of a really good show. The fact that they canceled the series Tuca and Bertie, like this just recently happened, and it's gotten everyone angry because it's like, what was the point of it? What was the genuine point of canceling Tuca and Bertie? Like, it was successful, people loved it, and people were watching clearly, so it begged the question why. And I never understood. No one understands why. Like, no one, like, Netflix doesn't provide a proper explanation. The thing when they were talking about canceling it or just not renewing it for a second season was, we genuinely love this series, but we've decided just not to pursue a second season. Again, why though? That's not an explanation. That's just you saying you're not doing this. That's all that is. That's not an explanation as to why you're doing it. Like, I don't get it. And this is just kind of the big problem with Netflix, is that they have this canceling problem. Like, they have an addiction to canceling stuff, and not even the stuff that people have genuinely hated. You would keep up shit like Big Mouth or fucking Neo Yokio, but you'll cancel the good stuff. Like obviously you canceled all the Marvel Netflix shows. Like, why? Like, you could cancel Iron Fist. Like, a lot of people were very disappointed by that. But you canceled Luke Cage and Daredevil, which was real shocking, and also Jessica Jones. So it made no sense. It's like, why are you canceling these good shows that people genuinely love? It's, like, there is no actual reasoning behind it, and that's what saddens me about this, is because, like, Netflix, I praise them because it's like a lot of really great things have gone to Netflix. Like, they were the pioneers of streaming. Because once they started getting into the whole original content business, that's when things started booming. That's when people started realizing, oh, this is a force to be reckoned with. This is the reason more people were starting to get away from, like, cable boxes and stuff. So, and now because people did believe that this was the best place to go to for, like, TV shows or movies, because now because they allowed a lot of creative freedoms. People get to make whatever they want without a big SMP department getting in the way, telling you can't do that, you can't do that, kids might be watching, you can't do this, you can't do that. And it's so odd that you decided they fall in line as probably even worse than a lot of the big networks and such, because like, when they canceled, it's a bit more justified usually. Like, their thing is like, it didn't do well in the ratings, people weren't watching, so it made sense to cancel. But for Netflix, it's like, here's the thing with a lot of the big cable networks and such. Their thing is, they at least show you the ratings. They will let you know this is how many people were watching on a weekly basis, monthly, so on, so forth. But with Netflix, they love being complete and utterly in the dark. Like, they love keeping people in the dark. They don't let you know what the viewership of any show was. So it's like, you do realize you could justify this cancellation if you showed the numbers. Like, just show us the numbers. If you do that, then it's like, well, sadly, not enough people were watching. That's understandable. But you don't. You keep us in the dark about it, so it's like, we assume that you guys just canceled it because you felt like canceling it, not because it genuinely did not make its money, or did not make proper viewership. Like, because it's a shock. It's like when you canceled Daredevil, that was the biggest shock, because many people were thinking, this because this was on like after the third season. People were genuinely hyped up. People thought this was an amazing season. This was like really good, because it really was. It was probably the best of Daredevil. But then they just got slapped with that cancellation notice right then and there. And even the people who made Daredevil were like, why? We genuinely don't. We were surprised. We thought we would be safe. Like, because so many people loved us, like, loved this series, and we're watching, so we're genuinely in shock that you thought this needed to be taken off the air. This can't be there anymore. It just won't survive. It won't cut it. It was just so dumb, and it's sad because it's like, and like I said, with Netflix, they were pioneers of streaming, and now it's become it's starting to get people to question what to do now. Like, people are wondering, where do we go from here if even you guys are not a good safe haven anymore? Like, people genuinely thought Netflix was the place to go to get your show or idea off the ground. But after this debacle, it's like, what place is safe? Where is the safety anymore? If even you guys would cancel just because. You could say, oh, because they're losing money and such. Yeah, but they don't. That's a matter of allocating your funding. That's more a matter of putting your money towards proper things. Like, if something is popular, put money towards it, of course. But if something is hated and people are clearly not tuning in, why put the money towards it? Like Big Mouth, a lot of people are like after the first season, so many people dropped off because they were like, this is disgusting. You showed little girl pussy. At the end of the day, that was a little girl's pussy that was talking. Like, you could give it Christian Wiig's voice all you want, it's still little girl pussy. It ain't right. So it's one of those, why did you keep this? Why are you keeping this going? And then there's also the big problem of your licensing thing. Like, you guys licensed out to get these like old TV shows that people watch. Like, you had Friends, granted you just recently lost that, thankfully. but at the end of the day, you put out so much money just to license it. And it's an old series that if anyone really wanted to watch, they could go to Nick at Night. If I'm right, they're still airing that. Or they can buy the box sets. Like it genuinely made it's just dumb. It's truly dumb, because it's like, you guys spend all this money for old properties, and you're not going to put most of that money, and you're clearly not trying to put as much money into your original stuff. Like, you guys, because I keep hearing that's like, yeah, they keep going, they're like billions of dollars in debt. It's like, yeah, because you guys keep paying for shit you don't need to be paying for. Like there's no reason to have Friends, of all things. Like, if you're going to license something, or more or less, don't even focus so much on licensing in general. Just focus more on just your original content. Because, like I said, if people really wanted to see those old shows, it's like, buy the box sets. They can just go buy the box sets. Why do the people who watch Netflix for new original content have to suffer because some people want to relive their nostalgia? It's like, if you want to relive your nostalgia, go buy it. Like I said, go buy the box set. Like, it's right there on like Amazon or something like that. It's not obscure. Like, these are not obscure things that you'll never see again. You're always going to be able to watch this. Like, there's never going to be a time where it's like, this is so obscure you'll never see it again. Like, these are old popular shows. And so it genuinely just feels just so dumb that they thought that they canceled these shows. And it's really bad for Tuca and Bertie, because it's like, this was just the first season, and they were clearly showing a lot of love and care in this series. They clearly wanted to push this show past itself, wanting to go further and dive into more character depth and such. But they can't now, because it's like, the show's canceled. And I don't know if when it comes to rights, how Netflix works. Like, there could be a chance where it's like, they can take the show wherever they want, like it's like, okay, if Netflix cancels the show, the creators have the freedom to take the show and move it somewhere else. If that is the case, I hope that happens, but the only downside there is they're probably gonna run into bigger restrictions, because Tuca and Bertie's a raunchy series. It is a very raunchy series. So that's just kind of that thing where it's like, we genuinely don't know what could happen to Tuca and Bertie. Part of me hopes like maybe it does get Netflix to say, oh, we kind of did mess up, but Netflix ain't gonna do anything if they don't see it messing with their bottom line. Like, if many people still haven't unsubscribed from Netflix at this point, it's like, yeah, it's gonna stay canceled. That's the sad truth of it. And that's just, it sucks. It really sucks. This was another female-led created animated series, and it delved into great adult issues that many of us face in life, and it resonated with so many people. Like, so many people watched this series and recognized it for what it was trying to touch upon and how it affected them even. And Netflix said, who cares? We're done. we did one season and that was enough. We don't need more. Some people speculate that because Tuca and Bertie was created by people who did previously work on BoJack Horseman. That's why the style is even reminiscent of it to a degree. And some people are thinking because BoJack Horseman's like writing team and such went on strike and unionized, Netflix is like, oh, we don't want that to kind of happen again. I don't know. That seems a bit conspiratorial. Part of me, because I'm like, that doesn't seem to make much sense. It's like, of all things to cancel, why not cancel BoJack Horseman? If you're trying to punish anybody, punish BoJack Horseman. Not that I'm saying they should, because they should unionize. They should get what they deserve. I mean, the people, the writing team behind it should be getting their proper dues. So it's just annoying to me, because it's like, I really like this series. It was a really great, genius series, and Netflix just pulled the wool right over our eyes and said, you're not getting more. Like, you better appreciate this one season, because you're not getting any more of it. And it was one of the more unique adult animated shows. Like I said in my review of it, is that it's sort of like it's more like a kid series, but animated for adults in the way it handles anything. It kind of has a bit of a childishness to it, but it handles things in a more adult way. I don't know. It like has this general childish silly feel to it, but it handles like adult situations very well. So that I don't know. The thing is, we are getting more into a more competitive field, or streaming is about to become far more competitive with so many different networks deciding to get into the streaming business. We have DC Universe, HBO is also still going pretty strong. Hulu, granted they just got bought out. Granted they're now fully owned by Disney, so yeah, it's like, yeah, we don't know where that can go with Hulu. It's kind of a coin flip as to what can happen there. Some people speculate that Hulu could take in the Marvel Netflix shows, because they show a lot of hardcore stuff. And, I mean, if they did that, great, but I don't see it happening. I don't. I feel like once those shows are gone, they're gone. I don't know. Especially since Disney's also about to get into streaming with their Disney Plus thing, or their Disney Plus service, and like I genuinely am kind of excited for it. I kind of want to see what they're gonna do with that, see how that turns out. They're even trying to compete by having a smaller price range than Netflix. At that point, it's like, Netflix, you probably want to start stepping up your game a bit. You probably want to step it up a little if you're gonna be trying to cancel all your good stuff in favor of crap. Like, keep that in mind. It's like, you can buy all the licensed crap all you want, it don't mean nothing to people who really want to see more new and original stuff. Because the licensed stuff, they're gonna watch it for they'll watch it for maybe a month, and then they'll drop off. They're gonna be like, oh, that was fun reliving that, and time to go watch something good or new. Like, that's what's gonna happen. And you guys won't, and if you guys don't have much to fall back on, guess what? People jump ship. They go somewhere else, because it's like, there's not much, because there's nothing else. It's like, okay, you have all these nostalgic things. Like, keep in mind, we have Boomerang, and they're getting into streaming, but their workaround is they have a few original things, mainly based around some old properties, but at the end of the day, but still, it's like, it's still sort of new shows, regardless of whether or not they're based on old properties. They're still new shows. But here's the thing, originally with Boomerang, it's like, yeah, it was good. You watch it for like a month, and then you eventually move on to something else, because you're aware you're just watching a channel of reruns. They're all just reruns. There are no new episodes or anything. Granted, nowadays they're trying to throw in more of the current stuff, which, to a degree, it's not bad. But, I mean, to a degree, that's not exactly bad, but it does make it so Boomerang's kind of a former shell of itself. Like, I don't know. But I digress. Like, it's just, with Netflix, it's like, y'all might want to start looking out, because you guys keep making these bad decisions of, we're gonna cancel all the good stuff, and not giving proper explanation. It's gonna get people to, for one, it's even bad, it's even worse, because it's like, you guys just put a lot of effort into having an animation studios and such, and like, you got big names, you got Alex Hirsch on board, you got Craig McCracken, like, you even have Jorge Gutierrez on there making new shows and such. You're about to have like your first full-length animated feature come like sometime in the fall, like Klaus, if I'm right. You're about to have that, but with your cancellation, Tuca Bertie just after one season, that's probably gonna get people to think, I don't know if you guys want to be, you know, that secretive about viewership and your reasoning for canceling some of these things. It's gonna get people to think, I don't think Netflix is for me. If you guys are probably just as bad, if not worse, than actual cable companies or cable networks. Like, seriously, people feel like you're worse than the cable networks. That's probably gonna get people to think, no thank you, because at least with cable networks, there's somewhat of a justification in the fact that they at least show the viewership. And they'll say, here's how many people were watching this day, and so on and so forth. And it's like, okay, if they did cancel it, they're justified, because not that many people were watching. But here it's like, we have no clue exactly if people were watching or not. We know it was praised to high heaven. We know a lot of people were reviewing it and a lot of people were praising it and showing so much love and support on Twitter and all that. And you guys just said, nope, we're donezo. We don't need no more. Like, no more. That hurts you, man. That hurts you, cause it genuinely gets people to question, what are you up to? Why are you doing this? Like, you decide we just want to half-ass it. I mean, we want to half-ass our business model, and it's sad. It's really sad. Like, these are good shows, and Netflix is just dropping the ball on most of them, or a lot of them, because we don't know. But at the end of the day, it's like the competition is starting to build up. More streaming services are coming out and probably going to have better business practices and understand. It's like, yeah, if these shows do good, we keep them up. Like, at the end, because my philosophy is like, let the creators pick their ending, more or less. Like, it can turn out a lot better versus just simply canceling it. Granted, some creators mess up by having seasons end on cliffhangers without the guarantee that they can come back. You know, like, a lot of shows do that, but I still say let it end on the creators' terms, because they're the ones who dictate they're the ones who know best of how to do this show. And I ultimately say, if the viewership is really good, leave it. Like, leave it. Like, renew it. There's no reason to cancel it just because you personally don't like it. I mean, because it's not about you and what you like. We're not watching Netflix because we want to see your recommendations. We're watching it because we genuinely like the stuff you put out. Like, we like some of the stuff that's been coming out on your platform. So, and we feel so, and I feel so sorry for Lisa Hanawalt, because it's like, you can genuinely feel she truly loved Tuca and Bertie and wanted to put so much time, effort into it, and you can feel it as you watch the show. But Netflix didn't care. They didn't care. They don't care that people like it. They don't care how much effort was put into it. And now people are just kind of running scared, thinking Netflix ain't safe either. Like, Netflix used to be the safe haven for good shows and good ideas to an extent. But now it's just looking like that might not even be the case either. Like, that's that is the very sad truth of it all. And there's not much we can do. I mean, we can speak with our wallets, but I don't know. It sucks. It genuinely sucks. Leave a like, comment, make sweet love, that subscribe button. Also, tease that little bell so you can be notified of new videos whenever they come out. Also, donate to my Patreon, where there you can request me to review any animated anything. With some restrictions, obviously. And always remember, it's just a thought.